Yeah. Alright. Just trying to find the right setup. Feel a bit sick. I'm not sure whether that's because I just ate so much. Sometimes I'm not sure. But I also cannot hide the fact that cannabis is making me incredibly hungry. And at least I've started eating more healthy things. Right, so I cook myself. That's something I didn't always do. Yeah, I'm not sure about the music. Yeah, I'm not good with clothes. So you're probably lucky. Like, this is as far as I'm going. So I just wanna... They don't look too good no more. But I'm just trying to be a little bit respectful. And I'm just gonna keep the music out. Right? Already a challenge to keep doing these videos after there's so little response to them. Right? It's like, I'm not joking when I say that it's a challenge to look at your channel and to see it so slowly growing, and then not to lose hope, right? This shit. Each day, in and out, people tell me what I'm doing is not real work. And that really hurts, right? It's like people that say they're friends, right? They act like you're not doing anything, because they have no idea what it takes to keep moving forward, right? With something that nobody really believes. It's like really annoying sometimes. And sometimes I also really start breaking hard when people keep telling me, you know, that I'm not working, or they keep hinting on this. I'm like, I mean, do you know what I'm doing? I mean, have you ever even tried? You know, it's like, I'm putting my life on the line for this. I mean, it sounds very dramatic, but it also is to me, right? I just want to, you see, it's like, do I have to save this? No, how respectful do I have to be of stuff that just is too much? Right? It's like, I don't even want to eat this no more. It's just a sad lump. I'm not sure how much I can appreciate the sheer flood of food. You know, at some point I just have to say, you know, sorry, but I cannot save it. It's a very tough job to do, right? It's like, you know, my neighbors save food from the supermarket, and then they feel happiness when you take it. You know, I've been transforming several kilos of bananas into jam, but sorry, man. I mean, there's just too much of it, and I'm alone. I just can't do it because I'm alone, right? It's like, I'm already happy that I managed to get out of bed. I mean, I'm serious about this. And, you know, it's already a wonder that I can keep producing whatever art this is. Because, you know, all the people I meet are just cocky men that are like, you know, They constantly try to piss on you and see if you are as strong as they think you are. And some people want to go as far as punch you in the face, and it's like, I really think that's not okay. You know, it's like, you know, that's my perspective, right? But if I go there and say that, they'll just punch me in the face anyway, right? Because they won't hear what I have to say. All they hear is, fuck, this guy is talking to me. That's a challenge, right? That's how these people are trimmed. That's how these people think, you know, they think everybody wants to kill me because I'm the coolest guy around, and so they want to be like me. That's how these people think, right? They walk around in the streets at night and there's nobody, and then they smoke weed. And then maybe sometimes they beat up someone and they start telling themselves, because nobody ever approaches them, you know, this is my street, everybody's afraid of me, you know, I'm controlling you all. You know, that's the mindset that these drugs like cocaine and speed and also cannabis is in a way induce in yourself. It's like you're becoming an egomaniac. And it goes so far that you start thinking of yourself as like a gangster or something. You know, that if somebody laughs at you, you have to like beat them up. Because that's what this was about, originally. You know, I made fun of a guy who was walking around with a stick in his ass, you know, just puffed up. Probably high on whatever he takes to make his muscles full of water, right? It's like insane what these kids do. I mean, they take hormones and all these things. But their punches, you know, they're like water. It's just no strength to it. There's no substance to their physical body. Right, and that's what I see everywhere. Like, that's like large-scale observation. Everybody's like this. Because you don't have to take cocaine. All you have to do is go to your local drugstore and buy some sugar, and there you've got your cocaine. There you've got your heroin. There you've got your speed, right? It's like if you're... That's what Terence McKenna talks about. You know, nobody says that, you know. Oh, look at me, I'm so high on sugar and meat and alcohol and coffee, right? It's like, not even the alcohol, but the coffee. You know, it just riles you up. It's like, yeah, I'm a Superman. And then somebody comes and, you know, stomps with their foot, and then you piss your pants. Or you think, you know, I'm gonna do him in. And then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I drank more coffee than you. I'm even more crazy than you. So what do you want, you know? You know, that's why I partly drink coffee and smoke tobacco, because it makes me a little bit crazy, right? It's like a little bit of death wish. And why is that? Because coffee and tobacco, they feed the shadow. And because this society is kind of a shadow society, a shadowy society, if you will. And that means in order to exist here and survive and go about my business and do my mission, I have to be a little bit of a devil. Because otherwise people won't take me serious at all. And if I have a mission, and if that mission is I want to help children, or I want to create safe places for children, right, where no pedophiles can thrive or something, you know, that you keep clean spiritually, that, you know, from this place children can grow into fine men and fine women that plow the earth with their bare hands. I mean, that's where we want to get to, back to the farmers that we used to be. And that's an insane challenge these days. I'm going to throw this away because I've had bad experiences with zucchini that were too old. Like, zucchini may be great, but I've heard that if they are too bitter, it's actually poisonous. It's hard to say, but they come from pumpkins. You know, they've been bred. So there were no zucchini. And there are pumpkin, you know, there are kinds of pumpkin that you shouldn't eat. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, if you make something with zucchini and it's really bitter, better just chuck it. You know, instead of just wolfing it down. I've also had bad experiences with spinach. that gave me real bad stomach ache. And I know that people say from spinach that, you know, you shouldn't heat it up again. And I think I was sometimes a little bit unconcerned with these things, but I also found that they're actually true. Now I'm just gonna make something that I've seen because I wasn't sure what to do with peppers. I actually hate peppers. But if I think, you know, I just ate them recently and they were nice. And I think the way to prepare peppers is to fry them in oil. And I think in the oven, because I have these, you know, lazy things. But on the other hand, it's actually stupid because, you know, if I put it in the oven, I'm going to do something else next to it, which means that I'm only half cooking. You know, oven food is kind of like lazy food. It's actually nicer to fry it in a pan. And the reason why I sometimes don't want to do that, but the problem is, yeah, the reason I sometimes don't want to do that is simple. Because, you know, I'll keep stirring. But no, the reason I don't want to do it in the oven is because I can't stir. I cannot stir. But maybe it's just sometimes nice to just make easy food. And maybe that's the illusion, right? Maybe if I would make better food, I would enjoy eating it more. So the more time I take in food preparation, the more I'm gonna enjoy eating it, if you know what I mean. Like, you can only have as much value from something. Oh wow, okay, that had to go. You can only have so much value from something, right? It's like the value that you put into something is the value that you're gonna get back. And I put a lot of value into what I do because I see the value of speaking about experiences that you've had and the lessons you have received from these experiences. And especially in the spiritual realm, because many people aren't readers like myself. I rely on the knowledge other people give me. So I listen to audiobooks, I listen to Terence McKenna, I listen to Ram Dass. And maybe you listen to me, sometimes I even listen to myself. Right? I listened to the last episode of my podcast and I deeply enjoyed it, which of course helps me, because nobody's giving me feedback. I believe there's people that listen to my podcast that never tell me that they do. You know, and that's the kind of world that we live in, right? You're completely self-reliable. If you're doing good, nobody will say so. At least not the people that you live with, because they don't want to give you that, right? But they see you as a challenge. And that means they're working harder. So don't expect, when you do this spiritual work, people may say thank you if you give just because you love giving. But you can also give so much that you suffocate a person. Like, you give enough so that people can do what they're doing anyway, right? It's like, I mean, that's some hard-earned wisdom. How much should you give your family? You go there and cook, but you can't expect them to eat it. You may have to cook 200 times before people actually start eating your food. Like, there's a lot of trust issues with people and food, you know? If they feel uncomfortable around you, like, your dad probably won't eat what you make. You know, if you give your father the feeling you're an asshole and I'm better than you, yeah, sure, man, he won't like it. Like, he won't eat your food. And then you're gonna get angry, you know, he disrespects me or whatever. You know, I'm just gonna stick with this, because I like the oven, to be honest. Just for now, right? It's like, I'm a little bit vulnerable. I'm just a little bit like a pussy, right? And that means I have to take care of myself. Because, you know, I get a lot of hits from people unintentionally. That's not really nice, right? It's like, it kind of pisses me off, to be honest. But how do you deal with it? Well, you just make food or something, right? It's like, yes! Salt? Sale al aglio means salt with this stuff that you call garlic. I like garlic. See you later, man. Alright. Garlic. Gar split, lickety, split, split. Garlic, splickalittity, splickalittity, splicklit. Garlic, splickalittity, splickalittity, splicklit. This is turmeric, which apparently is the chosen spice. I don't know, it just fell out there. It annoyed me deeply, because I don't want to be too healthy. But I think I'm being reminded that what keeps Indian cuisine alive are the spices and certainly the garlic. And this is dried garlic, but it doesn't matter to me. And actually what I learned from Indian cuisine is also, it says it's fine like this. I just wanted to say, this should be blah blah blah, right? This should be not an oven fan, but I think it's really nice. I'm just gonna put it, right? It's like gonna be nice and charred. Gonna make sure that gives it a nice taste, and then you can eat it with some rice. Oh wow, it's like, it's like, that's cuisine. Cuisine. Yeah, don't try, I'm trying not to be too stupid. Sometimes people, when I start talking to them, they just say, "You want to fight?" It's like, what do you mean? Because I just piss off people all the time, I just make fun of them and the way they are, and then I just start imitating them, and some people really hate that, I get it. They're just very good at it, And I think that's what they enjoy. Like with me, things aren't ever getting too serious. There's always a bit of a joke. I think that's, what I'm saying is I'm keeping people grounded. Right? I'm telling you, keep it a bit down, right? Because there may be somebody that's just a little bit better than you. It's like, that's what I'm showing to people. There's somebody who might be a little bit more skilled, a little bit more powerful, it just means shh, shh, I'm not a fighter, but shh, and it feels a bit, it feels a bit stupid to do this, I don't want to do this to you. Let's as honest as I can make it. And when you come with a knife to a fist fight, I'm just gonna run away, my friend. Because one of us wouldn't survive it. And I don't want to end up in prison or something. I can. Yeah, I can do it. It's just stupid. I'm a daddy, not an MMA fighter. I want to be more like a dad. If I have to punch you in the face, that would mean that, we're like the same, but if you want to fight with me, you clearly didn't get the message. Times are over with violence. This is like the peace movement, alright? I stand in the kitchen and I cook. Right? Yeah, sure, I can do this. Ding, 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 ding. But what for, man? It's like, I want to build things, not destroy them. So if somebody's really angry, I'm just gonna stay away. Well, I'm just gonna tell them, right? It's like, you know, I can do it, but what for? And if you really want to know it, maybe I would have to, but I don't want to, because I know there's a lot of strength, right? You know, I've trained this. I do planks, like straight, which means that this position is becoming natural for me, which means that if I do this, you know, this is a position my body remembers. You know, if you only do pull-ups and push-ups, then the position your body remembers is more like this, which means your strength is only when you're holding it, but not when you extend it. This is how I understand it, right? It's like, this is all the fourth. You know, I've trained this, standing like this. And so if I kick, and I'm used to standing, then my kick is much stronger. So if you're being kicked by a person that's sitting a lot, you know, a lot on their phones, a lot in front of a computer or a TV, then these people don't have any strength, right? Because their arms are always like this, like a tire to, like a T-Rex, the way they've been pictured. I've done this, which means this is pretty straight, like this is really sturdy. You know, I can do this. I feel clearly it's stinging sometimes, but this is how I harden my body sometimes, by just like, you know, massaging myself, but also hardening it, so that I don't scream with pain if I ever should have to protect myself like this. So I'm just doing it myself already, and I'm doing it with trees. And this is how a Shaolin would harden his body, right? He would probably take a wooden stick and do like this. And when they do sword fights with wooden swords, right? I mean, they probably do all kinds of things. I mean, when you do learn these nunchucks, you're probably gonna hit yourself a couple of times. You know, they say that if you keep doing things like this, you basically break the bones over and over again, and then they grow together and become stronger. You know? So I just want to know that if ever there is a situation, if somebody punches me, all I have to do is like this, and that will take care of it. Because if he punches, and I just do like this, shboom, right? Shboom, 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 you know, it gives me at least the confidence, right? It's possible. But if the guy has a knife, then, right? But that's the problem. If I fight you today with my fists, maybe you'll come back tomorrow with a gun or with a knife. Because you feel that easily agitated. So it's not worth it. Unless there is a situation which just like, you know, I don't know. I think it always breeds more anger, and people are ashamed. She shamed me, because they think I can actually shame them. I mean, you shame yourself because you think then you're a weakling, and then you're going to get desperate. And then maybe your friends are going to tell you, you know, do it. And somebody gives you a weapon and you're like, you know, you don't want to do it, but everybody's pushing you because you are weak. You're going to do it. You're going to give in to it, and then you're like, no, I'm going to kill you. All right, back to prison, you know, welcome home. Because apparently you need that. And I'm not gun fodder. That's what I'm saying, right? It's like, cheapers.